Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. It is a Saturday morning. I've got Mr. Steve Chesler over there and Mr. Steve Rodriguez over there. We're getting out on a little shed hunt today. We're down in central Utah in an area where I've found a handful of sheds in the past. We wanted to get a little south of Logan where there's less snow and a little bit warmer temps. So we're going to work this, and hopefully between the three of us we can stumble upon some sheds. What's your goal for today, Steve?
6 sheds.
6? Ooh, man. Mr. Chesler, what's your goal for the day?
1 elk shed.
1 elk shed. Uh-oh. Well, my goal is 2. I'd love to find 2 today at least. And if we could find a brownie between us, that'd be really cool too, to get a brownie on the board for this year. Let's see what happens. We are still working the flat. We've probably closed about, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the distance to where the mountains start. A little bit of sign we're seeing, not a ton of sign I would say, but enough to keep us going. A lot of beef cows in here running around already. But we're gonna get through the rest of these junipers and get to the base of the ridge and then start working to the south. And it's probably just because I found all those sheds on the top of that mesa last week, but I got an itching to get up high and get up on top. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'll see what Steve and Steve want to do when we kind of get to the end of this flat. Birds are out singing. It's a 20% chance of rain down here today, but right now it's nice. It's just overcast. Ground's a little muddy from the rain, but not brutal. It's a beautiful day. It's supposed to be 50 degrees. In fact, if it doesn't rain, I'm going to shed this outer layer. I'm wearing it mainly for the wet water protection. All right, Steve's got us on the board. It's not,
But it's on the board.
it's not his elk shed, but let's go look at it.
It's an oldie.
There it is.
It's a real oldie.
There's the burr. In case you're thinking, no, that's just a bone. He's right.
It's a shed.
It's a little shed. I didn't find that. That's Steve. Steve's on the board. Steve said if he found more sheds than us, he'd buy us dinner. So he's
I'm in the slot
he's in
to
the
buy
lead.
dinner.
Just been following this game trail on the back side of the mountain. I got all the way to the top of the ridge and dropped off to the west, or excuse me, the east. And I'm following an elk trail. Here's a little rub. Now, that's probably from a deer, as low as that is. But definitely a rub. But there's both deer and elk tracks all on this game trail, and they're fresh. There's elk droppings on here that I know are from today. So that'd be cool if we can come up here and spot some elk. It'd be even cooler if there's a bull that's shed up here. We'll see. It's a pretty muddy mess over on this east side where it's not getting as much sun. Still a lot of snow. Well, not a lot of snow, but you can see the snow that's melting. Big old 50-gallon trash can right there. Kind of makes me wonder if somebody's got a bear bait in it or something, which if they do, I don't want to mess with it. I'd hate to get my scent all around it. I wish I'd have seen it sooner. I wouldn't have even gotten this close, but I don't know for a fact that's what it is, but it's weird that it's just sideways, kind of half buried in the ground there. And maybe it's just something somebody had up here on the top, goofing around, and it blew off. Who knows? It's really pretty up here. A lot more sign up here on the top as far as poop. And a lot more tracks. Again, that elk path I was on for a while, some of those tracks are from today for sure. So I don't know if Steve have found anything. I didn't get cell service on the back side of this, so I'm gonna head back up on top and check in with them. But I'm still skunked for the day. Steve C found that one little base of an ancient shed. So far, that's all I know for sure that's been found. Well, we're sitting on this log, take a little snack break because it's dry. There is sign everywhere up here, elk and deer. Can't believe we haven't stumbled into something. And I've got one more ridge to the east, so I'm not seeing any boot tracks now. There's a little 2-track, side-by-side road on the first ridge. So I'm sure a lot of people get up in there because you can drive to it. But this ridge, I haven't seen any boot tracks, but so many deer tracks, so many elk tracks. Lots of droppings, but no sheds as of yet. This is the snack. This is the peanut butter chocolate chip trail mix. The Great Value brand, Walmart brand. Might be my new favorite. I eat this one quite a bit. So I have a handful or two of this and then get back going. I've come back around on the west side of this mountain and I'm dropping back down to loop around back to the car. I think I'm about 4 miles in, but I probably won't do as much zigzagging up and down on the way back, so I don't think it'll be 8 miles. Probably a little less than 8. It just seems physically impossible to see as much sign as I've seen and not find anything. So far we're still just one of the 3 of us. I haven't heard anything from Steve in a while. But again, we have cell service, so I would imagine they would have texted me if they found something. So there's a pretty decent game trail I was just on. I'm gonna join it again. I just dropped off so I could see over these ledges a little bit into some of these areas where I see some deer beds under the trees. This trail right here is pretty well defined. I imagine it's going to come out on this finger and drop down along this finger. So we're not giving up. We'll keep looking as we circle back around. But man, sure thought we would have seen something by now. Here's looking back out to the west. There's Yuba Lake to the north. So for you guys who live in Utah, you'll have a pretty good idea where we are. Almost back at the car. I'm just walking the fence line by the highway because sometimes when they jump the fence and land, it'll knock an antler loose, but just came across this dead coyote. I wonder if it got hit by a car but made it up to here before it died, or doesn't look like it got hung up in that fence at all, but he's pretty ripe, I can tell you that. Dead coyote number 2. Again, I don't know if they got run over and tried to get up here, or if he looks like he might be hung up in the fence, which would be super weird. Almost maybe like he was trying to get under and got hung up or something. I don't know. We're almost back to the car. I saw one of the Steves heading back to it. I couldn't tell which one. And like I said, I didn't get any texts from them, so I'm assuming nobody's found anything other than that little chalky base of a shed that Steve Chesler found early on in the hike. There was so much sign up on top, guys. I mean, I'm back down in the flat now, but up on the top there, I mean, there were elk tracks, deer tracks, elk poop, deer poop everywhere. Oh, there go 2 chuckers. That's the 2nd and 3rd chucker I've seen today. But we'll round up with these guys, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just surprising me to see if they found anything. All right, time to wrap this video up with the channel shout out and the Minute on the Mountain. So as you saw, pretty rough day for us. I mean, between the 3 of us, we put over 20 miles on. I did 7 something. Steve did 6, and Steve Chesler said he wasn't sure how much he did, but probably close to 6. So I just found that one little chalky base. So low on the shed count, but high on the laughter and high on just having a good time. We had a lot of laughs on the drive down and on the drive back, and just great to get out in creation. So I want to thank those two guys for going down with me. The channel I want to shout out today is North Missouri Outdoors. He's got a lot of trail camera footage. That's the primary content of his channel. A lot of deer on those trail cameras. So I'll put a link in the description. Check him out when you get some time, and tell him Minute on the Mountain sent you if you would. The Minute on the Mountain, I want to talk about the story from the Gospel of Luke, where Jesus is watching everyone put money in the treasury, and he sees this widow who puts in only 2 small copper coins. And he tells the disciples that truly she has given more than anyone, because she gave everything she had, and everyone else essentially just gave out of their surplus. We're doing a sermon series on generosity. And I think one of the misconceptions we get sometimes is that, God doesn't care about the amount that we give. Let me finish before you turn this off. God absolutely cares more about the heart than the amount. That's the point of that whole story, that God said she gave more than everyone. But the percentage we give reveals a lot about our heart. So the percentage we give back to the kingdom reveals a lot about our attitude towards God, if we trust his provision, about our attitude towards money, and whether or not it is an idol in our lives. Now, I don't believe that New Testament Christians are bound to a tithe. I've got some longer teachings on that on our podcast if you want to check that out. Now, I think that's a conversation among believers. So if you believe we are bound, I think you and I can still have fellowship as brothers and sisters in Christ. I don't think that's something to divide over. But I think I can make a pretty strong biblical argument that New Testament Christians aren't bound to a literal 10% tithe. However, I think for most Americans, that's a benchmark that probably should be the minimum. I think most individuals could give 10% and probably more, particularly if you're upper middle income or above in the United States of America. So again, I wouldn't want you to give out of compulsion. I wouldn't want you to give out of feeling shamed or anything like that. God wants us to be a cheerful giver. But I do believe God does care about the amount that we give, in the sense of he wants it to be proportional. So that's Minute on the Mountain. Thanks for coming along. Hey, we're at 1,396 subscribers, so we're really close to 1,400. When we hit 1,400, we'll do another giveaway. So if you've watched some of the videos and you like the content but you've never subscribed, do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 1,400. Maybe share the video if you don't mind. Let's get to 1,400 so we can do another giveaway. Okay, God bless you guys. We'll see you the next time we're out on the mountain.